In November, I visited RSPB Blacktoft Sands on the south bank of the River Ouse, where it meets the River Trent, becoming the Humber estuary. I left home in my trusty Defender 90 at 8 AM and drove through Wetherby to the A1 South before joining the M62 East at Ferry Bridge. It then took just under an hour's drive to reach the A614 Goole turnoff. Following my sat-nav, I drove around Outer Goole and passed through the villages of Swinefleet, Reedness and Ousefleet before reaching the reserve. I kitted up for a cold day's adventure and then walked the short distance from the car park to the superb two-level Reedness hide, one of 6 viewing hides at Blacktoft Sands. Numerous wildfowl were on the lagoon in front of the hide, along with mute swan, snipe on the small island and bearded tit feeding on the nearby reeds. However, my visit was to observe, photograph and film the amazing Marsh Harrier, which can be readily seen there scanning the vast expanse of tidal reed beds, the largest in England, searching for small birds, ducklings and mammals, etc. The Marsh Harrier can be a challenge to photograph and film, with their swift flight and sudden change of direction before swooping into the reeds. During my 6 hours at Blacktoft Sands, these are some of the video footage I captured. The stills and video footage were captured with my Nikon Z6II mirrorless camera and Sigma 150-600 contemporary lens and 1.4 teleconverter. Marsh Harrier were all too often flying a long distance away, as the inset picture taken from the hide with Blacktoft village on the far banks of the Ouse clearly illustrates. These are some of the many stills I captured during my visit. Before the light faded, to add further context to my video, I walked to the Singleton Hide at the eastern end of the reserve to capture an image of the village of Alkborough in the distance over the reeds. Minutes later, a female Marsh Harrier appeared over the hide and banked right, giving me probably the best still image of the day. And to illustrate this, I've montaged the two pictures to remind me of this delightful experience. After a very interesting day, I headed for home for my usual wifely greeting. Was it worth it? She will often remark. Well, judge for yourself.